government is looking to Silicon Valley for help. On the heels of your interview with Leon Panetta, former Google CEO Eric Schmidt is going to head a new Pentagon advisory board. Defense Secretary Ash Carter says the purpose of the panel is to bring Silicon Valley innovation and best practices to the U.S. military. And, of course, Schmidt is now the executive chairman of Alphabet, which is the parent company of Google. But again, Maria, Silicon Valley, the government, maybe they can get along on this one. We'll see. Back to you.
Not a bad idea, by the way, Kevin, to bring in some of the expertise of the technology industry so that we don't have these issues where we can't access the information when it comes to national security.
Absolutely. This is a brilliant idea, and you've seen it time and time again where the government has been behind. And so actually the private sector is always innovating ahead of the public sector. Go figure.
Yeah.
So what they need to do is they need to bring in these leaders, because these leaders have great ideas on how to actually protect this country and actually do encryption. And the government really is having a problem because cyber warfare is a big issue.
What do you think?
It's a serious issue. But you have to ask yourself, and I'm all for public-private partnerships, because I think that's the only way we can solve these big problems. Neither the public sector nor the private sector can do it on their own. However, you do have to ask yourself how the United States government, particularly the Department of Defense, does not have people on the payroll that are as smart as anyone in Silicon Valley, if not smarter. That just doesn't add up.
They need to pay and recruit better. That's the important thing. The government needs to step up its game. It needs to stop being big and bureaucratic, and it needs to start thinking about being like a startup, right? Incentivizing
like
people.
a businessman.
Exactly.
In the age of Edward Snowden, how is it possible that the NSA cannot get the information that the FBI needs?
It doesn't make any sense. I mean, that's the point.
Well, they can.
And believe me, if they can't figure out how to get on into that telephone, or if they don't have code writers that can write that code, we are in trouble.
But look, there's got to be benefit for everybody, right? When you look at the public-private relationship, and this has been an ongoing problem, an ongoing struggle in this fight against terror. What can these private companies do, specifically these social networking companies that we know terrorists are using to recruit? What more can these private companies do with the government to help combat terror?
Well, that's the point, but they don't trust each other, and that's where it's unfortunate.
Well, think about how, I mean, the terrorists are using very sophisticated ways and means of communicating with each other.
And some not
of them are
so sophisticated.
Well, yeah, exactly, but they're also, I mean, they're meeting within games of Sony PlayStations even, so I mean, that's the interesting part.
Well, I think Cook's on the wrong side of this, and the next terrorist attack, Cook will have a blowback.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
We'll take a short